While in college or on the job, you may be asked to review content virtually in Microsoft Word instead of being given a physical hard copy of the document. This means that you won't be able to write your comments or edits on the document itself. This video will show you how to make revisions and edits and comments to documents in Microsoft Word. Before you make any changes, it's important that you set Microsoft Word to track your changes. This allows the writer to see all the changes you've made so that he or she can evaluate your feedback and decide which pieces of feedback to accept and apply to his or her own writing. To set Microsoft Word to track your changes, click on the Review tab at the top of the screen. Then, you will either see a button that says Track Changes, or in the version of the screen that I have up, you will see a button that says Tracking. If you see the button that says Tracking, click on it, and then you will find the Track Changes button. Click on the Track Changes button. Notice that it is now highlighted in gray. That means Track Changes is on. Now you will notice that anything I modify in this document is indicated in a different color or a note on the right side of the screen. For example, the author uses the word buggy in the introduction. I think that this word is a bit vague. Does the author mean that the camping experience bugged him out, or that there were literally lots of bugs? If I read the rest of the essay, I will realize that the author doesn't talk about how many bugs there were, so I think this is supposed to imply that camping was uncomfortable. So I'm going to change buggy to uncomfortable. Did you see how Word included a line in the word buggy and then wrote the word uncomfortable in a different color? This lets the author see what changes I am making. If you are working in a document and want to stop Word from tracking your changes, simply go back to the Review tab and then click on Track Changes again. If Track Changes is unhighlighted, that means it's turned off. Then you can go and work on your document without seeing all of your changes. If I want to make a comment about the writing, I can add a comment to the right side of the screen so the author can see my comment clearly without it getting lost or interfering with the original wording of the document. To do this, click on the place in the document that you are commenting on. For example, the first body paragraph talks about getting away from civilization. The description of the campsite isn't very detailed and doesn't explain how far away from civilization the author is. So I want to comment that this paragraph needs more detail. I'm going to put my cursor next to the word civilization so that the comment will be attached to this word. To add a comment, click on the Review tab at the top of the screen and then click on New Comment. Notice that a box appeared on the right of the screen and that the word civilization is now highlighted. This lets the author clearly see what portion of the essay each comment is referring to. Now I just type my comment in the box. You need more detail in this paragraph to describe the campsite and explain how far you were from civilization. When you are finished editing and adding comments to the document, make sure that you save your changes. Now that you know how to make comments and suggestions in Microsoft Word, let's go over what to do with the feedback you get from someone else. If I was the author of this essay and had received this reviewed document back, I first would need to make sure that I was looking at the marked up version of the document. This is the version that shows all the reviewer's edits and comments. To do this, click on the Review tab at the top of the screen. Next to the Track Changes button, or underneath the Tracking tab, you will see options for how to view the document. In the drop-down box, click on All Markup. This will make sure that I am seeing all the reviewer's comments and changes. As I read through the document, I should see two things. The edits typed in a different color, like buggy and uncomfortable here, and there are a couple more in this paragraph. I should also see any comments on the right-hand side. To review all of the changes and comments your reviewer made, put your cursor back at the beginning of the document. and then go back to the Review tab at the top of the screen. You will see options to accept or reject changes made. You can go through the list of changes by clicking on the Previous and Next buttons. Previous and Next. Because we're at the beginning of the document, we need to click on the Next button to go to the first change made. If you want to accept the change made by the reviewer, click on Accept. If you don't want to accept the change and want the document to go back to your original wording, click on Reject. Word will then automatically take you to the next change on the document, or you can click on the Previous and Next buttons. When you get to a comment, clicking Accept won't make it go away. This is because you will need to review the comments in more detail later. Once you have finished checking all the changes to the document itself, go back to your comments and make any other revisions you deem necessary. At this point then, you can either mark the comment as resolved if you want to keep a record of it. Notice how it fades when I mark on resolve, or I can delete the comment completely. To mark a comment as resolved, click on the comment and then click on the Resolve button. If you want to delete a comment, click on the comment and then click on Delete. When you have finished evaluating all comments, make sure to turn off Track Changes. Go back to the Review tab and go to Tracking and make sure that the Track Changes button is not highlighted. If it is highlighted in gray like this, then Track Changes is on. If it is not highlighted, then it is turned off. Now your document should be ready to go to the next round of revising and editing or to be turned in. Make sure you save your changes.